Somebody's been messing with my computer. What is this stuff?
It's the environment.
What?
You're looking at the environment.
Who are you and what are you doing in my computer?
I'm the environment representative, but you can call me E for short.
Nice to meet you, E. I'm Jeannie. What are you doing here?
I'm here because someone has to know what's going on. The environment is trying to keep up with the demands for water, land, clean air, and energy. It's working like crazy, but it can't go on like this.
So why are you telling this to me?
Why not you? Somebody has to help change things. People need to realize that if they don't do something, they're going to be facing big problems.
Problems? Like what?
Like the problem of how we're using up our natural resources.
You mean things in nature, like trees, rocks, plants, animals, water? There seems to be plenty of them.
Yes, but there are less and less all the time because there are more and more people on Earth needing, wanting, using, and wasting those resources. Every year, there are approximately how many more people on Earth? 1 million? 50 million? Or 100 million?
I really don't know.
Almost 100 million more people every year. More than 5 billion people now live on Earth. And all those people use products, which means more natural resources are used up.
I don't know what you mean.
Take water, for example. There's a limited amount of fresh water on Earth, and people everywhere need water to drink, to cook with, and to clean with. Plants and animals need water, too.
So what's the problem?
The problem is that so many people are using and wasting so much water that in some places there's not always enough to go around before it rains or snows again.
I see your point. I use water and I probably even waste some too. But I can't think of any other natural resources I use.
No? Well, what are your clothes made from?
From cotton. From plants.
Your shoes?
From leather. From cows.
That book?
From paper from trees.
Everything comes from the environment. The food you eat and all the products you use come from natural resources from the environment. For example, mineral ore that is mined out of the ground is used to make metals like steel and aluminum, which are used in cans, furniture, picture frames, wires, thumbtacks, nails, paper clips, pots, you name it. And oil, a fossil fuel that is pumped out of the ground, is used to make all kinds of plastic from bottles, bowls, telephones, toys, furniture, clothes, pens, glass.
Okay, I get the idea.
And fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas are also used to make most of our energy and to run cars, to heat buildings, to make electricity. Once mineral ore and fossil fuels are gone, they're gone forever. No more, no mas, kaput, bye-bye, used up, finito, gone forever.
I got it. We use a lot of natural resources to make a lot of things.
You have no idea. Take trees, for instance. Every year, we cut down 850 million trees just to produce the 50 million tons of paper products we use.
That's a lot of trees. But we can plant more, right?
Yes, usually, but they take time to grow, and not all of them grow back. In some parts of the world, forests are cut down not only for wood, but to make space for people to live and grow food. The world's rainforests are rapidly disappearing. An area the size of a football field is cut or burned down every few seconds. Millions of acres every year. And when the rainforests disappear, so do many animals, insects, and plants that live there and nowhere else. Which of these plants and animals that live in rainforests are in danger of becoming extinct? The ring-tailed lemur, the day gecko, the harlequin beetle, the golden-headed tamarin.
I really don't know.
The answer is all of them.
That's really sad. But what's that got to do with me?
A lot. First, they are all living things, and the rainforest is their home. Next, you never know what good they might do. Maybe a plant growing in a rainforest will help feed people someday. Already, Many of our medicines come from plants that grow in rainforests. For example, the medicine used to treat leukemia is made from the rosy periwinkle, which grows in the rainforest. It's not just rainforests that are disappearing. With so many people living on Earth, many natural areas like wetlands, meadows, and other wilderness areas are being changed into highways, houses, farms, and shopping centers. There's only so much land the environment can give for everyone to live on and to enjoy. Once land or other natural resources are used up, the environment won't be able to provide more. With fewer natural resources, people won't be able to live as well, and products will cost more.
I think I see the problem. There are a lot of people on Earth using up a lot of natural resources to make a lot of products.
Very good. That leads us to problem number 2. Creating too much waste. Every time a product is produced, waste is created. Waste that goes into the water, into the air, or into the trash can. And most of the products themselves end up as trash. Every day, every person produces an average of 1 pound of trash, 2 pounds of trash, or 4 pounds of trash.
1 pound?
The answer is 4 pounds of trash. That means a family of 4 produces about 7 bags of trash a week, or 29 bags a month. That's 350 bags a year. And lots of that trash is packaging, like for juice. See?
You're right. All I wanted was this juice, and all this packaging just goes into the trash.
And all that trash has to go somewhere.
Yeah, the trash truck comes and takes it away.
Away? No waste goes away. Most garbage goes to landfills, mountains of buried trash, some as deep and high as a 20-story building.
So what's wrong with that?
How many of our landfills are expected to be full by the year 2000? None of them? About half of them? Or almost all of them? The answer is almost all are expected to be full. Then what will you do with your trash?
Bury it someplace else.
Even if you did have plenty of space to bury all your trash, which you don't, you're still burying valuable natural resources and creating some difficult problems.
How can buried trash create problems?
Water can seep down through landfills, especially old landfills, picking up bacteria and poisonous chemicals from rotting garbage. That water can eventually go into our groundwater, polluting it. And rotting garbage produces gases that can rise up into the air, contributing to air pollution. Which brings us to problem number 3, polluting the environment.
What do you mean, polluting?
Polluting means making unclean. Now, everything gets dirty. That's natural. And the environment takes care of a lot of dirty things. Air, water, animals, and makes them clean again. But it's getting out of hand. People are putting so much stuff into the water, ground, and air, sometimes even poisonous stuff, that the environment just can't keep up with the cleaning. Trash on the streets, garbage dumped into the water, emissions put into the air. That's pollution, and it causes harm to people, animals, plants, and even buildings. The environment just can't handle it all.
I'd like to help, but I really don't see what I can do.
For starters, turn off some of those lights.
Okay.
But how's that going to help the environment?
You contribute to air pollution every time you turn on a light turn up the heater, drive a car, or throw out a can.
None of them makes air pollution.
Actually, all of them contribute to air pollution. They all use energy, and almost 90% of the energy used comes from burning fossil fuels, oil, coal, and natural gas. Every time a fossil fuel is burned, emissions go into the air. Here's a recipe for air pollution. Take some gases from cars, power plants, and factories, add some vapors from paints, cleaners, and chemicals. Throw in some particles from fires, car exhaust, and dust. Mix them all together in the air, cook it with the sun, and you have air pollution, sometimes known as smog.
Not too appetizing.
You're right. When you gulp down some smog, you cough, wheeze, and your eyes itch. And it's not good for other life forms either, like animals, trees, and plants. Gases in the air can cause other problems too, such as acid rain, which is harmful to lakes, plants, and fish. These gases may even be changing the temperature all over the earth, which could really change things in a big way. Hey, what are you doing?
It was getting pretty dirty in here, so I thought I'd clean up.
Thanks very much, but that window cleaner could be polluting the environment.
What?
Which of these things are hazardous to the environment? Oven cleaner, motor oil, flea powder, paint thinner, batteries.
I bet it's all of them.
Yes, stuff we use every day are toxic and harmful to the environment. Go look in the cupboard.
Okay.
Cleaning products, pesticides, batteries, all these and a lot more can be harmful to the environment.
So I'll just throw them all away.
Not so fast. If they're thrown into the trash, they go to landfills where they might leak into our groundwater or escape into the air. If they're put down household drains, poured into storm drains, or dumped on the ground, they may end up back in a lake, river, ocean, or in the groundwater. As a matter of fact, all kinds of hazardous products can end up in the environment and be harmful to many living things. I tell you, the environment is trying very hard, but it can't do it alone.
Isn't anybody helping?
Oh, yes. A lot has been done. At one time, trash was just dumped on the ground, where it was unsafe as well as unsightly. Now we use sanitary landfills. People have learned to clean and reuse water, and we are finding ways to make cleaner burning gasoline and other fuels. But more needs to be done. The environment needs help so that every living thing can have a clean, healthy place to live. I want you to find out what can be done to help. I don't have time to talk to everyone, so it's up to you.
Hey, wait! When can I talk to you again?
Sure, Jimmy. The computer talks to you. It does. Get a grip.
You'll see. E, I'm back.
Jeannie? You just dreamed it.
No, I didn't.
Then maybe you should have your head examined. Whoa! Maybe I'm the one who should have his head examined.
Good afternoon.
This can't be real.
Hi, E. I've been trying to figure out what to do to help the environment and have come up with some great ideas.
Good. I can't wait to hear them.
Okay. Problem number 1 is we're using up natural resources. So solution number 1 is we've got to cut back.
Brilliant, Jeannie.
It is brilliant, as long as she can figure out how to do it.
I have. First, to make sure that the environment has plenty of natural land with lots of plants and animals, we've got to stop building things.
Stop building what?
Well, everything. No more shopping malls,
Okay,
factories,
I guess so.
schools,
Yeah, good idea.
houses,
What?
sports stadiums.
You're crazy. We can't quit building all those things. Besides, I like football. Matter of fact, I like baseball too. And what about soccer and hockey? Where are all these games supposed to be played?
And the old stadiums are not at all.
And with no new houses, where are all the people supposed to live? I hear there are more people every year.
They'll just have to make do.
Hey, I'm not living with my parents forever.
Well, you just might have to.
Seems we have a little problem here. People do need to build houses, farms, stores, and other structures to live in the environment.
See, I told you.
But they also need to consider the cost to the environment before they just turn the earth into a planet of concrete.
See, I told you.
It's about balance, balancing people's needs with those of the environment.
How do we do that?
Maybe that football stadium or new shopping mall is something people really want. And perhaps the environment isn't using some open land for very much else. But maybe they're thinking of filling in some wetlands to build it. Maybe animals live there and have nowhere else to go. Maybe people use the wetlands for fishing or boating or swimming. Maybe plants live there that are in danger of disappearing. Then it seems like the environment and people need that land more than they need a shopping mall or a football stadium.
I see your point.
Me too. We have to think about what the environment needs as well as what people want.
Very good.
Well, the environment needs trees for beauty and clean air and homes for animals. And since it takes 850 million trees for all the paper we use every year, we simply must stop using paper.
How are we going to do that?
Well, I videotaped some kids who had a lot of good ideas. Come on.
We could use dishes that we could wash.
If we use towels to lay our food out on, we could just bring normal towels, and you could reuse them and wash them instead of just throwing them away.
What about paper to write on?
We could walk around using small chalkboards.
Okay, but what about all the newspapers and phone books?
We could use small computers because they would be fun to use.
You put it in plastic and crayon.
See? They were good ideas.
Yeah, but what about toilet paper?
Hold it right there. Jeannie's got the right idea. But you don't have to give up all paper. That's not realistic. The environment's not asking for that. It's enough to just reduce how much paper you use. Use only what you really need.
Yeah, reduce how much we use. Like when we need to use paper towel, use one instead of 2 or 3.
And write on both sides of a piece of paper.
We could reuse a lot of paper products too, like boxes and bags.
We could reuse a lot of other stuff too instead of always making new things. That would save a lot of natural resources.
Yes, it would. Remember, the environment provides natural resources for you to use and enjoy. You just can't waste them because there may not be enough, now or in the future.
Like water, we shouldn't waste water.
I don't waste water.
Do you let the water run while you brush your teeth?
Well, yeah.
Do you fill the bathtub to the top or stay in the shower for 15 minutes?
Sure, everybody does.
Well, then you're wasting water. There's lots of ways to conserve water.
Like what?
Well, like lots of things. not letting a hose run when you wash a car, and washing only full loads in the washing machine or dishwasher. Water lawns in the cool part of the day and keep drinking water in the refrigerator instead of letting the tap run. Always fix a leaky faucet.
Okay. I get the idea. But it sounds like a lot of trouble.
Maybe it is a little trouble, but conserving water does a lot of good for the environment. It not only saves water itself, but also saves the energy used to get the water, clean it, and heat it. And conserving energy means putting fewer emissions into the air.
Mark, you were only thinking about yourself, about what you need. What about the environment?
Okay. I won't waste water.
Good. If all people would reduce their use of natural resources and reuse whatever they could, there'd be more for everyone.
And there'd be less waste to get rid of, which is problem number 2. But we've got to do more. We've got to create less waste.
What did you have in mind?
Packaging. Get rid of packaging.
What?
Look at all this needless packaging I found. It all just goes in the trash.
Hey, wait a minute. This package is cool. And what are we supposed to do? Get milk directly from a cow?
Some packaging is necessary, but Jeannie's right, there's a lot of excess. Buy products with the least amount of packaging and let companies know if you think their products are overpackaged.
And what about disposables?
Like what?
Well, anything you use once and throw away. Pens, razors, they even make disposable cameras.
Cutting down on the number of disposable items you use would help to save natural resources and create less trash. So would recycling.
Now, I like that idea. I get money for all the cans, bottles, and newspapers I take to the recycler.
Recycling is a wonderful way to reduce how much waste is created, but not everything can be recycled. You're still left with some trash that must be disposed of.
I've been thinking about how we bury our trash in landfills and how they're quickly filling up. But I couldn't think of what else to do with our trash, so I asked some friends. Come on, they're on that tape.
We could put it in the ocean.
Or we could put it in a big rocket ship and shoot it into outer space.
We could, burn it.
There. I think that's a good idea. If we burn the trash, there'd be nothing left. That would take care of the problem.
It's not quite that simple. You can't just make something into nothing.
Huh?
You see, you can't make trash disappear just by burning it. Try it. Burn a piece of paper in that jar. Go ahead. What are you left with?
Some ashes.
And a lot of smoke.
Exactly. You still have to dispose of the ashes. And what do you think happens to the smoke?
Well, it goes into the air, of course. So what's the problem with that?
Pollution. We're polluting the environment. So burning our trash isn't a good solution.
Well, sometimes it is a good solution. Some cities are already burning trash and making electricity from the heat it generates. But it's not a perfect solution. There is no perfect solution. People do have to be careful about how much smoke, gases, and particles go into the air. Remember, if the air is too dirty, the environment can't handle it, and the air becomes polluted.
Wait a second. I figured out how we can stop polluting the air.
Yep, here comes another one of your brilliant ideas.
Look, since most of our air pollution comes from burning fossil fuels, and since fossil fuels are a limited resource anyway, we simply stop using them.
But don't fossil fuels power our cars, run our heaters, and make electricity? How am I supposed to stop using all those things?
Easy. Just turn off your lights, unplug your appliances, and stop going places in the car.
I'm not shivering in the dark and walking everywhere I have to go.
No need to argue. Mark, you really don't have to give up all those modern conveniences. And Jeannie, you probably can't completely quit using fossil fuels, at least not yet, since they supply most of your energy. But everyone could use fewer of them. That would help the environment a lot and wouldn't hurt you at all. As a matter of fact, you'd save money. The idea is simply don't waste energy. Let's see what your friends had to say about that on your videotape.
Turn off the lights when you're not using them.
When you're using the air conditioner, close the windows.
Instead of using the heat, you could wear sweaters or a jacket.
We could like ride bikes, walk.
You could have a whole bunch of friends like in a van and carpool, and that would save energy.
Come on, we don't have to do all that. Besides, if we wait long enough, scientists, those technology people, they'll figure out how to solve these problems.
Maybe they will. A lot of things have been done to help the environment. Cars are getting more miles for every gallon of gasoline burned. Light bulbs are made to shine longer and use less energy. Equipment is being put on electric power plants so fewer emissions go into the air. Someday you might get a lot of your energy from the sun or in some way you haven't even heard of yet. People are working on those things.
Just like I thought.
But they can't do everything. Besides, it takes time and money to develop new technologies, and every day there are more and more people in the world. Scientists can't solve all the problems as long as people continue to waste resources, produce so much trash, and create more and more pollution every day. The environment is your home. It's up to you not to pollute it and to make it a clean, healthy place to live.
Like putting all trash in trash cans and not littering. And not using hazardous products, or at least making sure to dispose of them safely so they don't hurt the environment or the people, plants, and animals living in the environment.
So what's good for the environment is actually good for people too.
That's right. So when you do something, such as choose what notebook to buy or how to get to soccer practice, don't just think about what's best and easiest for you. Think about Earth and the environment, too.
Sounds like if everyone helps just a little, the environment would be helped a lot.
Okay, I can think Earth. And if I can, everyone else can too.
Goodbye, E.